Welcome to Was, the podcast exclusively for people who bleed their own blood. We're your hosts as always. My name's Nick.
And I'm Andrew LZ, and God, I love that movie so much.
I know, and we're going to talk about that movie
Uh,
at some point during this recording.
At some point. But how you doing, man? How's your day going?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty darn well, all things considered. Yourself?
I'm doing good. Feeling relaxed. A little bit. I still have a week and a half before my next paycheck, so still have to go out and drive. But I've got court next Monday for because I forgot to renew my registration.
That'll do it.
So
That'll do it.
yeah. But other than that, I mean, just normal stresses about money. But I mean, I'm gonna always have those, and
Those never go away, regardless of how much money you make. I'm pretty sure, unless you're like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and then it just doesn't matter.
yeah. But feeling comfortable. I feel good because I know in about a month it's going to be a lot better. I think I'm going to be. I'm more than likely going to be missing the My Chemical Romance concert. So I mean, I can sell that.
No.
It's on a weekday, on a Friday in Vegas. My car's not going to make it, so I could take a flight, but it'd be $230 round trip.
You gotta just blow up your car once you get enough money to get a new one. Is all I'm saying. Don't even trade it in. Just blow the damn thing up.
No, it served its purpose. It did. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great car, but it.
Remind me what you drive again.
A Kia Rio.
Okay.
There's no power, nothing in that fucking car.
No.
It's
no real
a,
anything.
It's a crank. So I actually still get to do that every single fucking day. And then my AC doesn't work. I live in Phoenix. And
that is just bad news bears, man.
And I was driving around for 5 to 7 hours a day. So yeah, I'm glad to not be doing it. So
well, I'm glad that part of your journey is almost over, my friend.
Yeah. But good TV, good movies this week. I didn't go see a movie. I don't know if you did.
I did not. I did not get an opportunity to.
So we do not get to talk about Don't Worry, Darling.
No, but I do still want to see it. Like real quick, let's just talk about the 800-pound elephant in the room, or 800-pound gorilla, or whatever the hell we talk about. Don't Worry, Darling. All of the crap surrounding it
is more interesting than the movie, probably.
No, what I was gonna say was all the stuff around it was so displeasing about it that I think it really turned what could have been an incredibly fun movie into bullshit.
Yeah.
From what I've gathered from the critic score versus audience score, like audiences are actually kind of digging this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's because it's Florence Pugh. I mean,
I'm sure
the woman is brilliant.
Yeah. You got Chris Pine in there, and Chris Pine's great.
Also brilliant. Yeah. So like I think this movie we're gonna see it in a different light in the future. I just think it's awful sad that all the behind the scenes crap that either occurred or allegedly occurred has mired this movie, because I was really looking forward to it, and all the other crap that came out, it poisoned the well.
Yeah, it really did, and it really is a shame. I'm sure it was, regardless, I'm sure it's a good enough movie. I'm sure just you can see probably when I guess Florence had to direct parts of the movie. And I don't know. I'm gonna go see it eventually.
100% will.
But I did not see it this weekend.
No, did not get an opportunity.
No. But what did you watch?
So I did watch some more 2004 movies, which is what we'll be talking about later on in the podcast. I'll tell you what, man. This year is up there with like 2019 for difficult for me personally. And I don't know if it was because I had just turned, I was 20 years old for the majority of this year, and I was in college and enjoying my sophomore year, and all of these movies that I rewatched or are on my list somewhere all hold a pretty special place. So this year I did rewatch a few of those during this week. Continued to watch She-Hulk. Continued to watch that series I talked about, I believe last week, called The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoy it. Thoroughly recommend it.
What did you think of She-Hulk this week? The wedding episode?
I thought it was good. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I thought it was just fine. This
is a consistently great show.
Yeah. I think it was a ton of fun. Jamila Jamil played her part. Like, there are holes in the whole thing, and then also you get Patty Harrison. I wanted to mention Patty.
Yes.
I wrote a note. I love her. She's one of my favorites. She's in my favorite I think you should leave skits ever. She's in my favorite I think you should leave skit ever, which is Santa Brought It Early. Because
oh god, I hadn't even thought about that.
I don't care about her Shark Tank one with the wine. I do love it because I even laughed just mentioning it.
Yes.
But her as the girl who just will not let go of the joke.
Yes.
About Santa is my favorite thing in the world, and she's great in this. And she even she shines at the end of this episode of She-Hulk by She-Hulk's at my wedding, because you can't read her. You can't read her at all, and I love her. So yeah. And then we're getting the Intelligentsia, wondering how they're actually going to factor in if we're going to get like a Red Hulk or something. I know what's his name. The leader's definitely showing up at the end of the season. Maybe
I don't know if he'll actually show up. I think they'll just save him for Captain America: New World Order. Personally,
I think they're going to set him up here.
You think so? I mean, I'd be happy with it. I love it. I would love it.
They got to get more eyes on this product because it's already going to be a divisive product. So, which sucks for that, because for them, because it's a great show, but you're always going to have just those horrible people. But they'll have, if they need to watch canon, they're going to have to watch it. So Disney gets their money.
Take that, incels.
Did you see the fake She-Hulk accounts on Twitter?
Yes.
I want one of those shirts so bad.
I gotta say, I want to know what's going on with Bruce. Like,
I don't think we're gonna get him again. Maybe a tease at the end of the season.
I think we'll just get a tease at the end of the season. I just want to know what's going on. Like, they set it up. I just want them to.
I've got ideas. I've got ideas.
I have ideas.
But they've changed since that first week or second week.
So the only other two things that I've watched, one, not that he will ever listen to this podcast, but congratulations to Albert Pujols.
Yes, 700.
Unfortunately for the folks who are Cardinals fans, that game was
in LA.
It happened in LA. Two, that game was the national broadcast on Apple TV that evening.
Oh, yay.
So our local folks did not call it. And
did Katie Nolan call it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I know she's on Apple on Fridays.
She was not on that broadcast, though. Okay. I'm almost positive. It was two gentlemen. Maybe she was a sideline reporter during that.
No, she's in the booth whenever she does it. So, like, unless it was a Friday, then she should.
Just was not there.
Okay, but yeah, Albert Pujols 700.
Yeah. He hit 699 and 700 in the same game. It was brilliant.
So LA got both of them.
Yes,
they got the oh my god, he's one away, and then also he got it
and back to back at bats. But the other thing, and I'm glad that we actually had to wait until Tuesday to do this podcast so we can talk about what Ryan Reynolds has done for the nerd world as of today.
See, whenever I don't know who sent me the TikTok earlier, whenever somebody walks by, I couldn't see if it was just some like a body double or actually him,
The
because
Twitter feed had it, and you could
yeah,
see that it was Hugh
yeah,
Jackman.
which I just watched.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Ryan Reynolds teased us with some Deadpool 3 announcement today. We know we are getting Deadpool 3 on September 26th, 2024. So it is
yeah.
a little under 2 years from now. But we also know that Hugh Jackman will be returning as Wolverine for one last time.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, I don't think if he's coming back for this, I don't think he's coming back for the last time, because Kevin Feige knew what he was doing with the first X-Men movie. Unfortunately, it just went off the rails after that. Also, we were limited to the technology at the time. So Hugh had to do so much more work. I imagine him and Kevin Feige have a great relationship, and I'm what am I even talking about? I'm speculating like one of those crazy people. No, I think he's not crazy people. I apologize. I'm just not that kind of personality. But I think he's going to be returning, because the MCU writers have very rarely missed. I mean, they've missed, and when they've missed hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's going to probably introduce the new Wolverine into the world, like a 616. So,
well, if they do that, I hope they go with Laura Kinney instead of Logan. What I will say is the only bad thing about Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, that send off that we got from Logan was the absolute perfect send off for him. And I'm not saying this sullies that. I am incredibly excited to see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine on the same screen as Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. So it's going to be a ton of fun. But no, I'm glad we actually waited to record this week so we got that, because it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. Also,
what all did you watch?
All right. Well, I mean, I've got a list, and also because it's past Sunday, I can actually talk about this as well. But Abbott Elementary returned. Great episode. Goldberg's I watched. I'd been off of them for a while, but I just wanted to see how they addressed
the passing of
the character. Yeah, but also, I mean, without Jeff Garlin, there he is. I couldn't think of his name, but good enough episode. I think they did a Field of Dreams episode. I watched the Connors.
Did Jeff Garland leave the
he had to leave the show, like misconduct. You know Jeff Garland, he takes things a little too far, and he's like, I'm joking, and unfortunately that does not work anymore. Fortunately it doesn't work anymore. But the Connors is great. I love the Connors because I'm just a huge fan of anything with John Goodman, and I can't think of her name either. The main sister, I don't know her name. I'm not good with names. I'm not gonna even try.
You're fine.
But I love her, the main sister, and I really love the Connors. Home Economics was good this week as well, because I'm a big Topher Grace person. I love that 70s show, and he did a small reference to the fact that he was Venom.
Awesome.
Because he had to be like, it was an episode where Jimmy Tatro is having to basically prepare his brother to know the fact that he's actually the owner of the publishing company that bought his book, and he's just preparing him for that information, because he's Topher Grace. He's not going to take it well. So he takes him to an entire day of Disney, and they're taking a picture with Iron Man. And then you see Spider-Man in the background, and Jimmy Tatro says, you want to take a picture with Spider-Man? He's like, nah, not a fan, and then walks away. So that was great. Bob Hart's Abishola, good, great show. 911 was great. There was an episode yesterday. I still haven't watched it. Lego Masters, a lot of fun. Love Lego Masters. If I watch very little competition shows, but I actually really like what they do on there. It's a lot of fun. Bob's Burgers was terrific. I loved it.
I love Bob's Burgers so damn much.
Same here. I love the episode. It was a great return from the movie. We didn't get like a reference towards the movie, but we got it in the opening credits, which was a lot of fun. I just love that show a ton. And then last thing, I know I've talked about a lot, but WWE has been great.
Dude, Triple H is knocking it out of the park.
It's been so good. The best storyline right now is Sami Zayn. And he's part of the bloodline, which is Roman Reigns, the Usos, Paul Heyman, now Solo Sikoa, who is the Usos' younger brother, and Sami Zayn. And he's been known as the honorary Us. And it's been just like, because Sami Zayn is so damn talented.
I see his stuff on Twitter constantly, and it just seems that he has perfect comedic beats in everything he does.
He's great. But the thing is, he hasn't really had to do it with his wrestling lately. He's one of the best technical wrestlers out there right now, but he hasn't, like, nobody sees that because he's just being this amazing character. And obviously he wouldn't be anything without the fact that the Usos and Roman Reigns are the biggest, some of the biggest wrestlers in the world right now. Roman Reigns being absolutely the biggest wrestler in the world. So it wouldn't have as much impact if it wasn't for them, but he is just knocking it out of the park. And this past week on SmackDown, it was the opening segment, the greatest entrance, because it's all 6 of them and they're all posed perfectly, and it's just, they framed it perfectly. And at the end of their segment, Sami Zayn says, "Can I say something?"
Oh Lord.
And Roman starts just berating him, like, "Why are you with us? What are you trying to gain? Why are you wearing our shirt?" And he tells him to take it off.
Oh no.
And Jey Uso of the Usos has been playing the character of hating Sami Zayn. He hates Sami, but Jimmy's cool with him. And he's really tight with Solo Sikoa for some reason. And and lately he's been tight with Roman, but Jey fucking hates him. And it's great. So whenever Roman tells him to take off the shirt, Jay's just freaking out, like,
yeah,
take it off. And
oh God.
And then eventually he just goes up and tears the shirt off of him, like, violently. And Roman says, "You're never gonna wear a Bloodline shirt ever again, because I got you a new one." And it's a like a Bloodline version of their shirts that says honorary Us, SC. And it was amazing. And then Sami hugged Roman, and Roman acknowledged it and patted him on the back. It was like, it was the best TV this week. I swear to Christ, the opening segment of SmackDown was the best TV.
Awesome.
It's hard to, I hope it would make it across by people who don't watch it enough, but they have the concept of wrestling.
Gotcha.
I think Kevin Owens is going to be a champion again. That was that's sure as hell going to happen. Liv Morgan had one of the best spots this week too. She, on Friday, she jumped from the top ropes basically, but there's a little step up that they had there, and she jumped through a table with Lacey Evans on it on the outside. So it was a long as shit drop, and she hit it perfectly. The camera got everything like in 3 different angles. It was amazing. So Liv Morgan killing it. Love her. Hope Can we stop being impressed by Ronda Rousey?
Please, God, let's stop.
She was amazing in MMA, but she's not a great pro wrestler. And where is she? She's at fucking pro wrestling. She's not great. I wish her all the best. I'm sure she's not a great person, but I wish her all the best. You're not a great wrestler. Don't be a champion again. You can stay in WWE, but please don't be a champion again until you get better at wrestling. You're not a great wrestler. I have to say it.
I'm with you
because you have to criticize people when they're not good and they're given a top spot. She's not a great top wrestler. She's an amazing spectacle for people who still like her, but most of the people there
don't care.
They don't know who she is.
No, nor do they care.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to go on that little rant.
It's all right.
And then also Chris Redd is leaving SNL, and I'll miss him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm gonna do whenever Colin Jost and Michael Che leave.
It's gonna be so weird.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life.
There was such a hole in Weekend Update for me, in my opinion, once like Seth was gone.
Yeah. See, I wasn't watching whatever Seth was. Seth and Amy were at the desk. I wasn't watching at that time. I took years off of SNL. Like I would watch it. Like I missed all of Bill Hader. I missed all of it.
What?
I missed.
How did I not know that? Oh,
I missed all of Jason Sudeikis.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
You missed some great stuff. Is all
I know.
I will say.
I know. I just wasn't watching, but I think Hulu has all of it. Don't they? Or Peacock?
I think Peacock does.
I think Peacock has all of it. I've been considering like going back from like this year and then going back by years.
Yeah.
But, or maybe finding a cast member, watching their entire run, just because like, hell, watch the Kenan years. That'd probably be the best idea in the world.
I mean, all you would miss was like the first 3 seasons, and then you just.
I'm okay with it. Kenan's amazing.
Kenan's been on SNL for 40 years.
He's the best. But the thing is, nobody belongs there more.
No,
probably in the history of
Kenan,
SNL,
100% belongs there.
I wish I watched.
Like,
I wish he was bigger, like he could make bigger movies or anything like that. That might come in time. I really wish it for him because he's one of my favorite actors of all time because he's been on my TV for 30 years. Yeah.
I watched his Black Jeopardy with Tom Hanks the other day.
He shines just as much as Tom Hanks in that sketch.
So good. It's so good. And his reactions are brilliant.
Yeah. Leslie Jones is on that panel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the middle. Tom Hanks is on the right. She's in the middle. I don't remember who the third contestant is, though.
I do love Leslie Jones too.
Yes.
Especially in a skit like that. That's
she's perfect in that skit. She's absolutely perfect.
But Kenan and Tom just had like really kill in that sketch.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do when Colin Jost and Michael Che leave. They are right. They write my kind of comedy.
Weekend Update is my favorite part of current gen SNL. I'll be just real honest about it. Like currently for the last few years, in fact, Weekend Update is by far my favorite thing. So when they leave it, I'm just gonna be like, what am I gonna watch now? Anything else you watched?
No.
Okay.
Nah. Why do you ask?
Because I figured we'd get some commercials in and then talk about the year of 2004.
Hey, that was an awkward way to go into a commercial, but
that was really
weird. I did it, and that's fine. 2004, yeah, some bangers, some movies I hate. One movie I hate.
I'm intrigued to hear what that movie is, but
the thing is, it's a movie people love.
I'm sure it's going to be one that's. In fact, I'm looking at the top 10 list I made for you, and I think I know which one it is, and that one's going to be marked off by the end of the second episode.
I just wasn't there for it whenever it like first came out.
I 100% know exactly what movie you're talking about, and don't worry, it's not on my top 10 either.
There's another movie out there that people fucking love that I cannot stand. I think it's literally it's a movie. It's one of the few movies I did not finish whenever I started it, and it's a big movie. But all right, yeah, I'm pretty confident with my list. You're gonna question maybe two of these,
Okay.
but my first one you're definitely gonna question, but I think you're gonna question another one, and but I'm gonna stand by it. But how do you feel about your list?
I actually went back and forth so many times. I probably had a total of 20 different movies in my top 10, like legitimately. When I told you before we recorded that there were like 6 to 7 movies that should have been in my top that weren't, that's actually a bigger list. Like there's a good 10 movies in my honorable mentions that easily could have made their way into my top 10. So the top 5 were pretty set.
I had a hard time.
The order in which the top 5 ended up being.
I had a hard time with 1
tough.
and 2. I had a hard time with 1 and 2. I was really confident with 3. And then less confident from 4 to 10.
Yeah. So we'll see. Again, this is an eclectic year of movies. Lots of different types of movies that I thoroughly enjoyed. So I'm intrigued to see what your list is. I believe I went first last time, so I think this is your.
I always feel
10.
like I always feel like I went first.
I mean, I'll go first. I don't care.
No, let's go with this. Let's go with this because I'm ready to talk about it because I've got it in my head right now.
Okay.
It's a movie starring Tom Hanks. Came out in 2004, obviously. Has Diego Luna, has Zoe Saldana, and
fantastic film.
And why can I never remember his name? He was in
Stanley Tucci.
Stanley Tucci, and I love The Terminal. I know people shit on this movie all the time.
Catherine Zeta-Jones as well.
Yes,
don't forget
Catherine Zeta-Jones. But people shit on this movie, but I just think it's really clever for. I mean, it shows the struggle of probably what you would have to deal with, especially a man who lost a country while he was in between countries, so he literally could not go anywhere. And this is a true story. Obviously, this is just more dramatized, obviously, and because you got Tom Hanks. What are you gonna do?
This is another Amblin Steven Spielberg joint with John Williams providing the music. I absolutely adore it as well. It just did not make my top 10 for some reason.
It's fine. I actually
I remember
seeing
this in the theater though. I remember seeing this in the theater.
Yeah. I mean, this is when I tell you I've watched this movie 6 times. I mean, I feel like that's probably more than most people.
I've watched it quite a few times as well.
Yeah, it's a comfortable movie. Obviously, like you get like I've mentioned, you get the brilliance of Tom Hanks, especially whenever he's trying to he's figuring out how to
the crackers with the condiments that he eats, and
then he figures out the cart. So Stanley Tucci takes those away, and then he starts doing like mosaic work.
Yeah, he makes that beautiful mosaic fountain,
and then just starts working on the construction crew because he's technically allowed to.
Yeah, they pay him a nice wage.
Yeah, and he's killing it in the and all but I think the people will give this movie shit just because.
And I don't know why they do.
He wants to. No, I think it's just because he's in New York City just to go to the jazz club.
Krakozha.
And then leave. Yeah. It's Krakozha.
Krakozha.
But then you also get like the sweet stories between Diego Luna and Zoe Saldana. I know there's a bunch of other characters, and I cannot think of them right now. There's the people on the cart. There's the guy with the who basically risks deportation.
He doesn't risk it. He is going to jail.
Yeah, I mean, there's that guy, and he's sweet in the movie because he's always salty with him. He's sweet and salty.
Yeah, Guillermo Diaz is also in this film, and people might recognize him from Half Baked and Chappelle's Show. And
I think he's the one I talk about, right?
Well, I figured you were talking about Kumar Payana.
Oh, okay.
The the old Indian guy,
Yeah.
who does like he gets arrested because he's out on the
On the
tarmac,
tarmac, yeah.
attacking the plane, basically.
Post 9/11.
Yes, post 9/11. So
Why are we laughing about? Oh, Chi McBride is in this too. I mean, and who doesn't love Chi McBride? I don't think anybody hates Chi McBride.
I mean, I don't know how you could hate Chi McBride. That's just stupidity right there.
Oh yeah, a guy who's on Bob Hart's Abishola, Barry Shabaka Henley. He's in the movie. I think he's one of the people who works in there. He's security guard.
He's a security guard. Yeah.
Yeah, who works closely with, like, he has that scene with Stanley Tucci at the end, which is
he ends up letting
and he gives him his jacket. He's good.
Yeah, he gives him his jacket and lets him go into New York.
Yeah. It's just a sweet movie. I enjoy it. I stand by The Terminal. I know people shit on it, and I don't know why.
I don't think there's a reason to. I really enjoy it. I'm with you.
I think maybe it's just a lesser Tom Hanks to some people.
I think it's probably a lesser Tom Hanks and a lesser Steven Spielberg film. Let's just be honest. Like, out of all that Steven Spielberg has brought into our lives, this isn't the spectacle that
you expect.
This is a personal story. This is a small story told on a larger scale at JFK. But this is a small story, and we're used to War of the Worlds and Jaws and Close Encounters and stuff like that. And this is just not that.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan, all that kind of stuff.
Nothing is really like Close Encounters, though.
You are not wrong. So I think this is a great pick at number 10 for you. Yeah. I did not have that on your list, though.
Okay. What is your number 10?
So my list has some comedies on it.
I assume so.
Because this was a fantastic year for comedies. And my number 10 started my love affair with Justin Long. It is Dodgeball.
Oh, okay.
A true underdog story. Vince Vaughn, Justin Long.
I fell asleep watching this movie twice this week.
Are you serious?
Yes, of course.
Ben Stiller has one of the greatest character, like just awful characters in the history of cinema.
Can I tell you the best character in this movie?
If you don't tell me, it's Rip Torn.
No.
Okay.
The best character in this movie.
Alan Tudyk,
Steve the Pirate. Yeah. It's Steve the Pirate.
We have a pirate on our team?
No. It's pretty early in the movie, and I've laughed at it so hard since 2004, because I saw this in theater. It's when they're trying to figure out the money for the first time, and they're all just sitting around, and he says, "We need $50,000. Why don't we just pay it back in Canadian dollars and we'll save ourselves some money?" It doesn't work like that. You don't add the two. It's only, and then just in between so many lines, Alan Tudyk will just go, "Yar."
Yar.
And he's the best. And then, "I share my treasure with you. That be it once I find it." But
God.
I'm gonna go get on the Stairmaster. Alan Tudyk is my favorite character in this movie, and then especially whenever he leaves at the end, and he's
I know I'm not really a pirate. Well, that's a shame, Steve, because who am I gonna share this buried treasure with? Yar.
Peter.
I love it.
This might have started. I don't know if it was this or Death at a Funeral that started my love affair with both Justin Long, and Alan Tudyk.
Yeah. We also get Gary Cole and Jason Bateman as one of the greatest sportscasting duos of all time.
I did not realize that was Jason Bateman until like 2012.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see how it works out for him.
See if it pays off. He
Yeah.
will not be able to see Cotton. We also get at the end the
Ouchtown
brilliant.
population, you bro.
We also get the brilliant. Let's go to our judges, and it's like, and then it's just Chuck Norris with the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Fucking
you.
Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
But no, there's so many quotable scenes in this movie.
Yeah, you mentioned it at the very top of the podcast.
Yeah. How dare you make me bleed my own blood? I read it in a book.
It's a metaphor. Taking the bull by the horns. But that actually happened.
But it actually happened. Ben Stiller makes this movie. Let's just be honest. Ben Stiller's character as White Goodman,
yes,
which is
Tony Perkins,
which is the best and worst bad guy name ever.
Yeah, he's Tony Perkins.
Yes.
Evolved.
Yes.
That was so funny. And then it's just his entire body language, everything that he's doing with everything. And then the hair is feathered.
When he pumps up his codpiece.
Yeah.
Like you said, the feathered hair, like when he's at the door, when he's at Catherine's door, Kate's door, and like he comes on the Vespa, and it's
with Michelle.
With Michelle driving the Vespa.
I love Michelle. Michelle.
This is my fitness consigliere, Michelle.
we get so many weird cameos in this movie. David Hasselhoff as the Germans coach.
Yes.
Obviously, like you said, Chuck Norris, Lance Armstrong, unfortunately, before we knew. But
we also get a great Missy Pyle performance.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to find her name on this. Now, I will say the one thing that makes me mad about this movie, and it made me mad from the beginning.
Okay.
They do my girl Lori Beth Denberg dirty.
Okay.
Early on in the movie. But no, because whenever they're like whenever
right. Yeah.
They're lifting her off of him.
Yeah, they do.
We hear like a jelly noise, and that it's pissed me off since day one. And because Lori Beth Denberg, going back to all that,
she deserves better.
Yeah, but Missy, I mean, any other scene from Ben Stiller is so good. I think the setup of this movie, and then basically when they're not doing the dodgeball stuff, is the best part of the movie. You get some great dramatics with that, and you get some amazing just everything Ben Stiller's doing whenever he just like hits the ball and then hits it away. And yeah.
He is just his physical comedy, his timing, everything is perfect.
Yeah,
for him. So
this is my team. Blade, Laser, Blazer. And you all know my fitness consigliere, Michelle. And then introducing Fran. I'm not even going to try to say
her last name is crazy.
It's not on here. No. I would say it if it was on here, but it's not.
Also, I'd like to bring up the scene with the car wash.
Yes,
where Justin Long
is
getting nice there deep like. So this movie just has fantastic one-liners. There are things that haven't aged well, like we talked about, but overall, just a fantastic film. It's a fun, quick 93 minutes.
Yeah,
which I love. Like, I don't have 4.5 hours to watch a movie. This is great. Hour and a half, I'm in, I'm out, I'm done.
And let me get something off my chest, because this movie is actually aged pretty well as far as comedies go.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Thomas, fuck you, man.
Oh God!
I remember back in high school, he was like, "I bet you like movies like Dodgeball." I was like, "Yeah, I even defended myself because I was working. I remember I was at Toys R Us and I was working. And I remember him being there.
Dodgeball.
And I said, "Of course, I love Dodgeball. It's a great. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever watched, and it still holds up. I watched this movie a bunch. Sorry, I couldn't think of it.
We
Or
also get a fun Hank Azaria cameo as the young Patches O'Houlihan.
yes,
I wanted to
okay,
bring that
sorry.
up.
Yeah.
So this movie holds up well. I love it. It's my number 10 film. Everyone should watch Dodgeball if they haven't seen it.
Can you guess where this is on mine?
I was gonna say 7.
Three.
3. Wow, awesome.
I love Dodgeball. Dodgeball is it's one of my favorite fucking movies, man. It's Vince Vaughn. Like, I mean, you get Stephen Root too. We didn't mention him. We get Joel David Moore as Owen, and Owen's so fucking hilarious. It's one of the funniest physical comedies of all time.
Yes.
That's why I went.
When Justin Long gets hit in the face with a wrench, I lose it every damn time.
That entire training montage, it takes place so quickly. It's so, but also, I forgot their first match against the Girl Scouts.
Yes,
but the girls taking beaver tranquilizer.
3 different forms of anabolic steroids and a beaver tranquilizer.
Low-grade beaver tranquilizer.
Low-grade beaver tranquilizer.
God damn it, Bernice.
She's got a mustache and she's like 11 years
hairy arms and stuff.
Yeah.
No, I know this movie back to front to back. I know every word.
It's
number
brilliant.
3. Number 3 for me.
That's awesome.
What's your
That's
number
great.
9?
My number 9 is another comedy. This was in the same vein of a bunch of the Trip movies that came out all at the same time. But this one, we get to go to Europe, and it is Euro Trip.
Really? This made your list? I was not expecting that, to be honest. I did not put this on your.
This made my list for so many reasons, but one of the main reasons was because Scotty doesn't know. Not only is that a banger of a song, but Matt Damon's cameo at the beginning of this movie is absolutely beautiful. It also has Michelle Trachtenberg in it, which Michelle Trachtenberg.
Peak of her powers here. Peak of her powers.
Peak of Michelle Trachtenberg's powers. The gentleman that plays Cooper, Jacob Pitts.
Yeah, one-hit wonder, I think.
Should have been a bigger star in comedy, in my opinion.
Yes.
This isn't where I parked my car.
No. I forgot.
Now he was in Strangers with Candy.
He
made his debut there. He's been in like episodes of Law and Order, and he was in the Pacific for a few episodes. The follow-up.
Oh no, so he had a career.
He was in the show Justified, actually. But I always wished I wished he would have done more comedy. Yeah. I feel like
he had an ear for it. Like he had the cadence, he had the timing, because he was great in this movie. He just had the curtain hairs.
Yeah. So is this movie high cinema? Absolutely not. It is in no way, shape, or form.
We get Fred Armisen trying to molest them.
We do get Fred Armisen as a creepy Italian guy who says the words "mi scusi" so many damn times.
Mi scusi.
Mi scusi. We get Vinnie Jones as the leader of the Manchester United football hooligans. We get Lucy Lawless cameo as the Madam of the Wundersex Club.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yes. Diedrich Bader plays a mugger in this.
Yes. You got cash. Give me cash.
Because
let's take it all, bro.
Again.
He's getting his
Yeah, he's getting filleted at the time.
And he's wearing the most protective way to wear a wallet in Europe, apparently. And then he runs into his hero for some reason, because we have to give him a great ending. To the early 2000s comedy, everybody got a happy ending.
Yeah, we get Jeffrey Tambor at the beginning.
Yeah,
we get Kristen Kruk from Smallville fame. We also get, like I said earlier, the best of all of these cameos.
Is
We
Matt
get
Damon?
Matt Damon as the lead singer of this band. The band that sings the song Scotty doesn't know is called Lustra. I don't know if that's the band's name in
In
the
the movie?
movie, but the
Thing is,
setup for it is just
I can't remember the lyrics to it, and it's killing me.
the setup for it is just so fantastic. It's Matt Damon gets on the mic, and you're like, is that Matt
With
Damon?
a mohawk and a lip piercing.
And a lip piercing. And he's like, here's to like my favorite sex kitten. Happy anniversary, honey. This is for Fiona. And it basically zooms in on Scott. He's,
It's I might have to throw this on here soon because it's a great fucking movie. It's a
Scotty
very
doesn't
funny
know
movie.
that Fiona and me do it in my
Yeah.
van every
Every Sunday.
It's the first
When he's
line
in
of that
church,
song. Yeah.
and she's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know.
It's so good. It's so fantastic.
Yeah. It's great. I'm happy it made a list. I just did not expect it.
There's absinthe being drank in this movie with hallucinations. One of my favorite underrated scenes is they give one of the guys at this hotel a nickel, and it's like the most money he's ever seen. He's like, I'm gonna start my own hotel, and like slaps his boss.
I think they said that it was like Bulgaria or something too, and then Bulgaria's not that bad.
They're wanting to get to Berlin, and when they look to jump on that truck, the guy's like, everywhere but Berlin. But their German is so bad that they don't know. And it's
a funny
time.
movie. It's
a funny movie. Again, it is not high art. Do not think that it will be high art. But it is super freaking fun. And like we said earlier, the cameos are just fantastic.
Yeah.
So Eurotrip is my number 9 film of 2004.
Terrific.
All right, what do you got at number 9?
Curious if this even made your list.
Okay.
Because it is really low on mine, and I stand by it. It is in the Harry Potter franchise. It is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
I am incredibly surprised how low that is for you.
This is not my favorite of the series. This is one of my least favorites.
Movie-wise, this is probably number 3 for me. Out of the Harry Potter franchise.
This is like number 6.
This is number 5 on my list, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, I've never loved this. Like, even whenever it first came out, and it's grown on me definitely since it first came out, because obviously I got to know what kind of directing Inarritu was doing, and it's true. Like, they completely transformed the world that was Harry Potter, because the first 2 movies were directed by Chris Columbus, and then we get
Alfonso in this one.
Alfonso Cuarón. Sorry, I said Inarritu. Yeah. And he is a different type of filmmaker, and it perfectly fine. I had no issues with it. It was too grimy, too dirty. Like it was trying to be grungish.
See, so the reasons that you're saying it wasn't your favorite, these are things that list it up there at like number 3 in the Harry Potter franchise for me. I felt that this was the biggest step almost of it growing up until we got to Deathly Hallows. We don't get Goblet of Fire, which is my second favorite, without we don't get that Goblet of Fire.
I know,
without this movie.
But I think they started writing the turn, and I'm not a big David Yates guy, and I think he only did Azkaban. From Order on. I think he
did Goblet on, I believe, didn't he?
Did David Yates do Goblet? I know. I think he went from Order, Half-Blood, and then the 2 Deathly Hallows, I believe.
You may be right.
And I love, besides Deathly Hallows Part 2, and probably part one. I like Deathly Hallows Part One probably more than most people, I think, because most people only just bring up Hallows 2. But I'm gonna say Hallows 2, Hallows 1, and then probably Goblet, and then Order, and then everybody else. But
I
yeah,
love the
yeah.
I
Go
love
ahead.
the
Sorry.
dark. I love the dark and grimy. I love the switch to Michael Gambon for Albus Dumbledore. Listen, I get Richard Harris was the original Dumbledore, and Richard Harris was a phenomenal actor, an
Yep.
award-winning actor. But
Unfortunately, you can't cast a dead man. Unfortunately, he had passed away.
Richard Harris died in 2002,
and which very sad.
But I just thought that Michael Gambon is the Dumbledore that I see in my mind when I read the books.
Okay.
For me, personally. We also get a great Gary Oldman in this. Like, I know we only get him at the end, but man, is he just chewing on scenery at the end of this. I mean, both figuratively and literally.
So is Spall, man.
Yeah.
Spall is killing it, and I don't know why it was not my favorite book to read either. I mean, I like Sirius, but I was not as big of a Sirius fan as everybody else. The character didn't connect with me. I did understand, oh yeah, he'd been wronged, he had been set up and everything like that, but it just like it never did anything for me. I'm very weird. Also, I hate Dobby too, so like I don't hate Dobby. I just don't care as much as most people about Dobby. I understand.
Sir.
I understand what he brings. I understand. I just whenever I first read it, and unfortunately, it's kind of stuck. I'm just not as obsessed with Dobby as everybody else. Whenever our friend Kyle named his dog Dobby, I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "What do you?
What do you mean why?" I think it's pretty evident. Dobby's amazing.
Yeah, he just didn't connect with me.
Dobby is a free elf.
He is a free elf, and he did great things, but he was also very annoying.
Yeah. No, I love the night bus segment in this movie, which is obviously different than the books. I just love the way it was shot. Do I like the racist Rastafarian doll?
No. I don't even like the way it's shot. I do like. I do. It's probably. I don't quote it as much. It's one of the quotes I used to say the most was, "What you fell over for? Didn't do it on purpose." Well, come on then.
I love Remus Lupin is so good.
Yeah, he is, like, and also
what a beautifully tragic character that we for the first time get to see in this book as well.
Exactly,
and movie.
And honestly, you like the entire last piece is just Spall killing it, Alan Rickman killing it. Why can't I think of it? David Thewlis and
Gary
Oldman, all just.
This is also
destroying their scenes.
This is also the first of the Marauders map, if memory serves me correct. So like all these things that I love about the series started in this book.
I saw on my sweater that I'm up to no good.
By that measure, also in this movie. So I felt like this was the first grown up movie in this series. And it was the first time that I thought also Emma Watson was given the reins to her character as well. Like she grew up probably the most between the second and the third. So
yeah. And I mean, she like the character had to take so much more responsibility too, because they really personified the fact that Hermione's really like, she's as smart as she is, she's also exhausting herself with this, and she has to play that. She had to show that that she was preparing basically that entire time, because she's the smartest witch, man.
Yeah. So I figured it would make your list. I mean, it is a Harry Potter film. Uh, just to show you how huge of a movie this was, and by proxy, Harry Potter in general. This movie that was made for $130 million made $797.5 million at the box office. So
Yeah.
it was big, and still is. And to be honest with you, when I personally watch Harry Potter movies, I tend to skip the first two and I go right to Prisoner.
Yeah, usually same thing. Sometimes I'll watch one too, but I only do this about maybe once every 2 years, once every 3 years.
Yeah.
Because they're amazing movies and it's a great movie series to just binge.
Yeah.
But you kind of want to watch this mainly in the winter. I don't really, it feels like these all feel like Christmas movies.
Well, I mean, the holidays do play, the holidays play an important part in each of the books, especially. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So that was your number
9.
Okay. What do you got at number 8?
Number 8. I do love this movie, and it was like the last movie on my list to make it, and then it just kind of kept climbing.
Okay.
It's Lemony Snicket, A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Okay.
I just love the type of filmmaking in this movie. It's very whimsical.
Yes.
It's very fantastic, and you get some over the top performances, obviously by Jim Carrey. You get Meryl Streep's in this fucking movie, man. Once again, Timothy Spall, Billy Connolly, Catherine O'Hara, Luis Guzman. I mean, come on, he's just one of Jim Carrey's friends in the movie. But
Jude Law is technically in this film.
Jennifer Coolidge, yes, Jude Law. Where we all figured out that he has the greatest voice on planet Earth.
It is a brilliant voice.
But I loved this movie. I mean, it's the Beauregard children, which they should be the stars, and they kind of are. But the thing is, that when you think of this movie, you think of
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, and which is fine because this is probably close to the end of his like giant comedy run, and I wish it wasn't the case because I think he might have had some more after that until he kind of took his break. But man, was he so fucking good in this movie, man. I love this movie. I'm assuming this did not make your list.
It did not. I actually enjoyed the Netflix series more than the films.
Okay.
At least I think it was on Netflix.
Yes.
It was. We got 3 seasons of it. I know. I thought that I actually liked Neil Patrick Harris's version of the character better than Jim Carrey's.
I'll actually have to watch it. I plan to watch it, but I just never did.
We also get Patrick Warburton in the series.
Yes,
as the voice. So yeah, you go like. Don't get me wrong. I'd probably choose Jude Law's voice like 6 out of 10. But there's that 4 out of 10 where Patrick Warburton's voice I'm okay with.
The man's great. I mean, he's like, and maybe H. John Benjamin one of those 10 times.
Yes. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But he never played Lemony Snicket, but no. It doesn't matter. If we're talking about voices.
I will say, though, so Lemony Snicket is a Nickelodeon film.
Yeah.
And it was a film that was developed by Barry Sonnenfeld, by the way. We're talking a guy that did the Addams Family movies and Men in Black and Get Shorty. Like, he's worked with the damn Coen brothers. And he was the one that was responsible for this film. Catherine O'Hara probably is my favorite actor in this entire film.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
I wish she had more to do.
Yeah, she didn't have as big of a role in this movie.
But the fact that Jennifer Coolidge and Dustin Hoffman and Cedric the Entertainer, like all these huge names, Billy Connolly, like all these huge people are in this film, like speaks very well of it. And I would have to believe that it was a ton of fun on this set.
Yeah. I mean, the kids weren't bad. I mean, you have Emily Browning, who still works today. I don't know a lot about Liam Aiken, but he still works. So, but yeah, I've always just really enjoyed this movie. I actually remember going to this one club thing that was in high school, and it was on a Saturday, and somebody said, "Oh, I went to take my kids to see Lemony Snicket. I thought it was a kids movie," and that the kids were terrified.
Oh, I mean, Jim
I mean,
Carrey's pretty terrifying in
him
this.
trying to run them over with the train, and then they're just having to finagle their way out. I don't know if that's a good term, but no, it just has, this movie has great set pieces. There are some completely forgettable parts of this movie.
Yes.
But I've always just really enjoyed watching this movie. So that's why
There's
I'm not
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I mean, guys, I put Dodgeball at my number 3. What were
also
you expecting?
Nothing wrong with that.
What were you expecting to be below it?
Yeah. I like Lemony Snicket. It was a hit. It made like $100 million at the box office over its budget.
Yeah.
It was a great Jim Carrey performance. That man just knows how to pull the best out of himself. So like, totally worth it.
Yeah. Actually, let's take a quick break. We'll get back to Nick's
More movies.
8. I like what you said better. Hi, welcome back, and we're gonna get to straight to it. What is your favorite 8th favorite movie of this movie of this year?
Yeah,
what is wrong with me?
It's my 8th favorite movie of 2004. Craig Nelson, Holly Hunter, a beautiful Pixar film. It is The Incredibles.
Okay.
I wanted this.
Man, I wish.
I wanted this to be higher. I wanted this to be higher, but I just couldn't do it. There's just too much. There's just too much on above this.
Yeah, this is my number 7. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. This was my favorite Pixar movie after Pixar came. After this movie came out, this was immediately my number 1 because I don't like it more than Toy Story. So. But no, this movie, like I always the amount of action in this movie is just, it's Brad Bird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this movie is just great character, family drama, action, comedy, straight up action. I mean, Jason Lee is the villain in this movie, mm-hmm. and he's just chewing the scenery, and he's great.
Yeah. This is such a good movie. I rewatched it as well as the sequel, Incredibles 2, just a few weeks ago. And God, this movie holds up so well, especially in the oversaturation of superhero films that we have been in over the last decade plus now.
Yeah.
The voice cast is amazing.
Yes. Holly Hunter.
So good. The story is brilliant, written and directed by Brad Bird, who also gave us probably my favorite animated film of all time in The Iron Giant.
So I've never watched it.
Oh, dude, you have to.
Maybe I'll watch Seinfeld one of these days. I've never seen it. I've never seen an episode.
Okay. This film also has a great Samuel L. Jackson performance as Frozone. The fact this is a film where the public opinion turns against superheroes because of all the damage, the collateral damage that they have caused over the years, and like they're forced to go into hiding, and just a great story about Bob Parr, Mr. Incredible, figuring out that he can't do all of this shit on his own. And it's a great family movie that has the backdrop of a superhero film. And now that I have children, at the time in 2004 I did not, but now that I have children and just see the interaction of this animated family, it's an animated family. I'm not like, this isn't a live action film. seeing the interactions of this animated superhero family, like it warms my freaking heart.
The
It's
scene at the
beautiful.
dinner table.
Yes.
It was like you recorded us. You recorded a family at dinner having a pretty normal conversation.
Yes. Um, I to this day I don't know if there's a better Pixar film. Like I'll go out there and say that. Like, and I love Toy Story.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 was a movie that was made for me. Like
Yes.
my generation. Like they said, screw the kids. We brought you Toy Story back in the day and you
Yeah.
loved it. Now we're gonna make you cry. Like Toy
Yes.
Story 3 is awesome.
I think it's my favorite of the series, to be honest.
I think this is still better. It's a better movie. It's
Yeah.
like a better overall movie. And
I'm big on Coco myself.
oh, I love Coco.
I'm big on Coco myself.
And we get Edna. We get
Edna Mode.
E Mode. Voiced by Brad Bird, by the way.
Yes.
And it's just fun. I could literally talk about The Incredibles and The Incredibles 2 for hours. I just love it so much.
I mean, Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl. The way Edna says Elastigirl,
yes,
is so great.
Incrediboy/Syndrome, Mr. Jason Lee.
Yeah, exactly. And I love Jason Lee so much.
Mm-hmm.
He's so great. But like I said, I think the best, and I love Craig T. Nelson too, but the best voice in this movie is without a doubt Helen Parr. It's
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter. I mean, she has one of the best voices ever. I
one
love
of the most recognizable voices.
Yeah,
like of any actor. So, I'm so happy this made both of our lists.
Yeah,
like,
number
so
7.
Incredibly happy. This was again my number 8. It again, like every single Pixar film that has ever been released, made a butt ton of money, just a boatload. It made $631.6 million on a $92 million budget. It's 115 minutes. It's a breeze. It goes by so quick. And it was the 4th highest grossing film of the entire year. So,
surprised it's not higher, to be honest.
Yeah. So that was The Incredibles at number 8. My number 7 film is a sequel. It is a Quentin Tarantino movie.
God damn it.
It has Uma Thurman starring as the bride. It is Kill Bill Volume 2.
I did not expect this to be on your list, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I will say, anybody who writes the word Kill Bill, they have to write it like Hattori Hanzo does.
Yes.
On the glass.
Yes.
You have to save that dot for last, and you have to slide it down.
Yep.
Rest assured, I did.
By
the way, this is my number 6.
Is it?
So
really?
I've got nothing else to talk about.
I did not have that on your list. So,
Give me Volume 2.
I think
the lesser of the looks.
Yeah, I think this is probably my second favorite Tarantino film.
See, I'm between 2 movies for my favorite.
I mean, I'm sure Inglourious is...
It's Inglourious Basterds and Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Volume 1.
Mine would be Pulp Fiction as my number 1.
Okay.
And I would say that my number 2 spot goes between Kill Bill Volume 2 and Kill Bill Volume 1. Because they are both such different films.
But Kill Bill Volume 1 has like the greatest last scene in the history of movies.
I don't know, man. The scene that ends Kill Bill Volume 2 is pretty freaking spectacular. Just seeing David Carradine collapse.
All over dead.
The 5-point palm exploding heart technique.
Kill Bill Volume 2 is Terrific, terrific. I love this.
I mean, we
We get her entire training montage, which is warranted. It works because it is a Tarantino movie. If it was any other type of movie, it probably wouldn't be as important. But because it's him, and you get Uma Thurman, who's already just like a giant star.
Yes.
You put her through hell, and you're gonna get her best performance.
I think Daryl Hannah does a fantastic job in this film too. Let's not skimp on that. She is fantastic in this, and Michael Madsen's performance is really good in this. You know, he's obviously a guy that Tarantino uses
a lot,
and he's really freaking good in his scenes in this. I mean, he gets screwed over, don't get me wrong, but his scenes are really good. And correct me if I'm wrong, we get a nice little cameo from Samuel L. Jackson as well.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, he was the
he's in the
piano
bar.
player. He's the piano player in the at the chapel.
He's in the bar at the beginning of this in the black and white scene, I believe, as well.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched.
All I know is that it is such a different movie than Kill Bill Volume 1. Like how Tarantino was able to tell this very complex story.
It was kind of Western.
Over 2 movies and make them so incredibly different in tone and style is a testament to his filmmaking. You know, you got basically a samurai film in that first one.
Yes. Just a pursuit of revenge.
Yes. And then in this one, it's a straight up spaghetti Western.
Yeah. I mean, the entire set piece with Michael Madsen, which also leads to Daryl Hannah there. When she opens that door and he just shoots her with a rock salt. And then his speech afterwards, he's just he knows exactly what he's done to her, but he's just like living in it. He's just there, and because he assumes he's got her, but she's the bride, man. Beatrix Kiddo, you're not gonna stop. You're gonna have to literally eviscerate her to put her down.
David Carradine's performance at the end of this film is just my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah.
Bill's just flat out ruthlessness as he's telling this story to this child, to this freaking child. And like, you can just tell how menacing he is. And the look on Uma Thurman's face. Like, it's just, it's excellent writing. It's excellent filmmaking in general. Fantastic acting.
Yeah. That voice is like, he was born to read things out loud, or just he was born to narrate. He was born to say things out loud. I wonder what those Carradine brothers all did. But yeah, I love this movie, and I love Daryl Hannah so much, especially. I mean, if you need some woman to hate you at this time, nobody did it better than Daryl.
Yeah, and her name was Daryl.
Yeah, and she seems like a good person too, so that's cool. But yeah, I love Kill Bill Volume 2. I'm happy it made your list. It's on mine. So clearly I like it.
Clearly you enjoyed it. Yes. I guess that brings us to the last movie of the night, and that is my 6th film.
I better get this one right. Jesus. I've got so much on the board.
I feel like you have to know that this one's going to be on my list somewhere. As earlier, I told you that a certain movie started my love affair with Justin Long. This movie started my love affair with Simon Pegg.
Okay. Oh, really? This is this low on your list?
That's how crazy my top 5 is. Which one of them. Number 5 was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. But Shaun of the Dead is my number 6 film of 2004. This was directed by Edgar Wright, written by Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright. This is the start of the Coronado trilogy that was followed by Cornetto, excuse me. Hot Fuzz and The World's End would follow, but this is what started it all. It is just an absolutely brilliant reference to George A. Romero's filmmaking while being just brilliant comedy. Truly scary at times, truly funny.
Yeah. Can you guess what number this is?
2.
This is between 1 and 2, so yeah, basically. I haven't decided which one's 1 and 2 yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, Shaun of the Dead is one of the greatest comedies of all time. You mentioned it earlier, Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost.
Oh.
This movie is
Bill Nye
is beyond good. Okay, because it exactly. This is the beginning of our love affair with, I'm going to say, mainly Edgar Wright, because Edgar Wright has. And that's nothing against Simon Pegg. I'm truly a huge Simon Pegg. I'm happy he found the Mission Impossible universe. He's perfect there. But
this led you to Scott Pilgrim. This led you to Scott Pilgrim.
Edgar Wright is, if Guillermo del Toro didn't exist, Edgar Wright might be my favorite director. But because he knows how to do it.
Yeah,
he knows how to do it. I mean, there's no better explanation than that.
So the opening where he walks through the town, goes to the shop and picks his things up and walks back, and then that juxtaposed with him walking absent-mindedly back to the shop after the apocalypse has already happened. Like that's just fantastic filmmaking.
Yes.
And really sets the tone for what the hell we got ourselves into.
I've seen this movie more times than I can count.
Oh yeah.
And it's,
oh yeah.
Like I said, like Edgar Wright's the king of timing, and Edgar Wright finds the perfect music and makes the scene work to it. He like the blocking on all of his movies has always been perfect. Simon Pegg had a lot to do with that style too.
Oh yeah.
So, and so did Nick Frost. Nick Frost a little bit less. Not taking anything away from Nick Frost. I wish his show from Amazon got picked up. I loved it. It was like about as ghost investigator.
The ghost investigating, yeah.
Yeah. Which his assistant's name was Elton John. And he didn't get why it wasn't okay. Sorry, but Shaun of the Dead, it's a perfect comedy. Like
it is. We're gonna head to the Winchester.
Grab a pint, and wait for this all to blow over.
Yep.
And you're right. This movie, I didn't even think of it that way, of why I love this movie so much. This led me to Scott Pilgrim, which is a top 5 favorite movie of mine.
Yep.
Which is a shame for all other movies, because there are better movies than Scott Pilgrim versus the World. But it is perfect to me, and it still is. There's some major flaws with it, but it's perfect to me because it's the most perfectly timed movie with music. It's exactly what it's about. It's exactly what Edgar Wright does, is movies and music.
This is the zombie apocalypse I want to be a part of. I want to have some.
You want to be the other group?
I definitely want to be the other group. I also want to jump over fences and just that running gag of the fences,
the transitions
through all 3 of these movies is amazing, and I love it. But no, like Sean's evolution through the film, seeing sorry, Bill Nye's character in this,
I love him,
is so good. And like all he wants is to be accepted by Sean. Like that's all he wants.
But he's still Bill Nye, so
Yes.
he's always going
Philip
to be intimidating.
Philip just wants to be accepted by Sean. That's it.
Yeah.
Um,
You should get Lucy Davis in this movie, and I love Lucy Davis. Obviously, she's in Wonder Woman, but I loved her in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which
yes.
I love that show. I wish it had continued, but I think it ended properly. I think it was good enough.
Dame Penelope Wilton is also in this. Some people might recognize her from Doctor Who fame as well. She played the Prime Minister at one point in Doctor Who, but she plays Barbara, who is Sean's mother. That's just a heartbreaking part of this film when Barbara dies.
Yep.
And like this is a movie that not only is stupid and funny and scary, but also has a distinct heart to it. And like I said, the evolution of Sean's character of Simon Pegg's character throughout this movie is a fun thing to watch, and seeing him, figure his shit out in the most necessary way possible is really fun. So this, like, if you are listening, like if you are somebody listening to this podcast and you're just like, I wonder what 2004 was like, really, like, take the rest of my list and throw it away. Like, I know this is the number 6 movie on my list, but this encapsulates what's great about movies in 2004.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Dead.
I think I've said my piece about it. I think I could say more.
Yeah.
But I don't, whatever. I digress.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that was the first half of our list of 2004 films that we thoroughly enjoyed. Just to recap, I had 10. Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story. That was Drew's number 3. 9 was Eurotrip. 8 was Incredibles, which was also Drew's number 7. I had Kill Bill Volume 2 at number 7, which was Drew's number 6. And then my number 6 was Shaun of the Dead, which was Drew's number 2 or 1. I don't know. He'll figure it out before next week. Well, go ahead and fill in the blanks for us.
All right. My number 10 was The Terminal, a movie that people stopped shitting on. Number 9 was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I don't know why I even considered going in, but I stopped myself of saying it in a British accent. I stopped myself before I even started, but you could tell that there was a build up and I immediately brought it down. Number 8, a series of unfortunate events, or as most people call it, Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events. My number 7 was The Incredibles. My number 6 was Kill Bill Volume 2. Always put the slashes correctly. And we already mentioned Dodgeball was my number 3, and Shaun of the Dead is either my 1 or 2, and we'll figure that out next week. So,
and The Prisoner of Azkaban was my number 5 film. So we're not going to have many movies to talk about next week. I take that back. There's a ton of honorable mentions that I have, so
yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, got anything else that you want to talk to the people about, sir?
Nah, I just want you to follow. Please rate, review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts.
You can also follow us on Spotify Podcast. Give us a follow there.
Yeah, same thing on Apple Podcasts, because they don't want you to subscribe anymore. They want you to follow. But my Instagram and Twitter is AndrewLZCom, and Nick is at
Supermans_Papa. You can also follow the show. We are at @was_the podcast. We really want to get into talking
into your houses. We're also on YouTube. We're also on YouTube at WasPod. We want to get into your houses.
God.
Thumbs up, please.
I mean, yes, you can do that, but we want to talk to you guys on social media. Take the time, shout out to us. Tell us what your favorite movies of 2004 were. We'd love to have a conversation with you.
Yeah. I'm about out of battery.
I'm about out of energy. So I think that is where we will call it a night, sir.
Yeah. Hey, Nick, see you next Tuesday or Thursday, maybe. Who knows?
Or, just get
We'll
vaccinated.
figure it out. Yeah.